that's when I went to Boise State University. They had 600 kids trying out. Yay me, I was one of the ones that got a scholarship. So even though I messed up, I did a Shakespeare piece and a serious German accent deal from somebody that had been in the war, and I lost track of where I was, and I just stopped. It was a long pause. It was a good place, and I went, okay, don't panic. What was the last thing you said? Okay, and then carried on. Well, the drama instructor goes, did you lose your place? I said, if you have to ask, I'm not telling you.
Life gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our faith, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to elevate. We sing it loud and
Welcome back to Time to Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Ann Lucente. And if this is your first time tuning in, oh, are you in for a treat? Today's guest brings laughter, talent, and a whole lot of fun. If you can't tell, we've been having that already before we started. If you've been here before, you've probably heard me mention the VO Academy, and what I did not expect when I joined the VO Academy was just how much of a game changer it would be, not just for my voiceover career, but for the incredible people I've met along the way. I always say that my greatest joy in voiceover and in this podcast comes from the people I connect with. So that brings me to my guest today. He's one of the many blessings from my VO Academy journey. He's the only person who could convince me to attempt an English accent for the first time for his audio drama production, although it was more of a Bronx-English hybrid. But the best part, he made me feel like I nailed it. So before we jump in, here's a little sneak peek into his world. From driving a tractor at the age of 6 on his grandparents' farm to commanding the stage in over 40 theater productions, my guest has always had a strong presence. In high school, a switch from debate class to drama led to award-winning performances and even a college scholarship. After decades in sales and training, he found his true passion in voiceover, lending his voice to everything from commercials and documentaries to e-learning and classic radio dramas. With nearly a decade in the industry and a heart for the little guy, he brings stories to life with professionalism and warmth. So get ready for a treat. Lots of laughter with the amazing, fun-loving voice actor, director, producer, and fellow podcast host, my friend Richard Durrington.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's so nice. The mic's on? What? We have to talk normal? Yeah. Anyway, I love this opportunity. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, I love it. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy. It's just exciting. I'm really doing this for me. Nobody needs to even listen to you because I'm just having fun. This is wonderful, Richard. So we did meet. I think the first time we actually met was the VO Academy. I've heard your name before because, you're so famous. I had heard your name before.
I'm just all around the VO community. Anyway.
Yeah, but I think that was definitely the first time we actually interacted on anything.
Yes.
Which was so great. But truly, you did give me the confidence to do that lovely English accent. And the production was A Christmas Carol.
A Christmas Carol. A very wonderful production between myself and Brad Storm doing the sound effects. And I edited everybody's voices in and made them so that they were pretty close to matching. So the volume stayed pretty much the same all the way throughout. I think it's one of our better productions. It's the third one that I've done for the Voiceover Academy.
Oh, wow. So I'm going to ask you more later. I don't want to know everything yet. But this is the third one you've done. Okay, so you do it once a year? Is that what you do?
It's kind of been that way. Every time I do one, I keep being asked afterwards, so when are we going to do another one? Well, so anyhow, this year, Corey brought me in as a mentor to do it and have scripts and work with folks. And it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoy the old radio shows. They're a hoot.
Yeah, that's so great too. And that's my first audio drama ever. I've never done one.
Oh, now you know how they work. There's not a whole lot of rehearsal with everybody, but there is on your own.
Yes, I told you that I was going around the house because Lou from our group, she was wonderful. Is she from London? Is she in
Yes,
London?
she lives in London.
Okay,
Yes.
so she got on a Zoom with me. I recorded it. We did it. I did not realize how much different you could say down and down. I'm like, "I'm saying down." She's like, "Well, you're not really saying down."
Not
So, and
really.
it's just she was wonderful. Oh my god. So then I recorded it. I listened to it the whole time, and I was talking to my dogs, my cats, every with an English accent the whole time. So it was quite fun. It was quite fun. That's what I love
She
about
was,
doing
it
it.
was truly, what made it so nice was it was a real good group effort. I mean,
Yes.
Trevor was just wonderful. He and I cut the script down because it was just ungodly long, and moved some things around and added a couple of things in it, that needed to be there. He and I both went, all of a sudden Scrooge is, "Hey, you there, boy." It's like, Wait a minute, what about happened when he's going, but I'm not gonna be the same." So he had that script. He and I had both have done this show on stage. So,
Oh, that's so great. That's so
um,
great. Yeah, that was it was truly amazing. It really was, and the finished thing seriously, I only got on 2 rehearsals. Even if I did
yeah,
2
that's right,
rehearsals.
you missed one.
Yeah, I missed one.
Slacker.
I was like, "Ah!" You changed the time, it's your fault. But
Well, that's,
I don't forget. The
oh,
Italian in
that's
me.
right. I had this little thing called my granddaughter's wedding that I was officiating.
Oh,
It caused a problem.
alright. Was it that? Alright, we're not getting
Yeah.
into that, that's fine. But really, what I love about the whole thing and everything and just, the VO Academy especially because I didn't expect it to to grow. You know what I mean? I expected it to grow, but I didn't expect it to totally I feel like I could try anything and it's such a safe place. I just love that. Also, where's like a girl from New York gonna meet a guy from Idaho except online and to get I know you now, It's so great. It's so great.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's wonderful. Yeah, the wonderful friends there and meeting people from literally all around the world, and it's just been great. I think
Yeah.
it's something where some of these others you get a lot of coaching and you do all this. Are you practicing much unless you're doing it on your own? A lot of them not, and that's what I like about the VO Academy is you can get in. Nobody's doing. I was in a group for a while that I kind of left because there were a couple people that came in and thought, "Oh, well, we're supposed to critique." Yeah, you took too long a breath there. Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
like the way that you said that. And it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do better to change it? I don't know.
yeah.
That's just where you made mistakes.
Right. That's not
Okay, so
helpful.
yeah, that's not a place to be. This is one
No.
where, hey, you were right there at it. If you just maybe added a smile, would warm it up. And if you're doing this and these words you need to hit, and you get to practice it because you read each script 3 times.
Right, right. Yeah, it's exciting.
And it's amazing how some people and it's learning how to take directions, and you do that very
Mm,
well.
mhm. Oh,
But
thank
some
you.
people is they go, "Uh-huh," and then they read it just
Yes.
exactly like they did before. "Okay, we need to work on you taking directions." But that's what the fun part is. You've probably seen it as well as I have. Somebody starts out in their first read, you go, "Whoa," and the second read,
Right.
"Meh, is not bad," and then they get directions and stuff, and the third read is nothing like either of the other 2, and it's like, "Wow, they were paying attention." So yeah,
Yeah,
it's fun. I
it
really
is.
do enjoy it, and for $25, give me a
I
break. A month? Get
know.
serious.
Oh my
There's a
gosh,
lot
it's
of
like
stuff.
there's a lot happening, right? You can get on what is it? At least usually maybe 4 times or something the whole month
Yes.
or maybe more, but it's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is not a commercial for VO Academy, but we love it that much. So there you go. And thank you, Corey Rhymes.
Yes.
So before we get into all the good stuff in your life, I want to know, can we pick an angel card?
Oh, I don't care. No, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna shuffle around, and you tell me when to stop, and then I'm just gonna flatten them out here, and you tell me. I'm gonna pick one for you. Tell me when.
Alright, stop.
Ooh, let's see what this is. It's just a word. Oh, responsibility. That's for you.
Well, let's see. I've had the responsibility of 3 daughters, and my wife and I will be 50 years in July.
Oh my gosh.
Property that I pretend to take care of sometimes. Sometimes I look out and go, "Yeah, those weeds will be there tomorrow." And yeah, it's, responsibilities like today, being here on time, remembering I needed to do it, having that on the calendar. Because if it's not on my calendar, let's get real.
Yeah, I
I don't know
agree.
what I'm supposed to do.
I agree. I am the same way. I'm
So,
the same way.
yeah,
But that brought us right into the beginning of what I'm gonna bring in with us. See, responsibility
what a
went right
segue.
into I was just
Yes.
gonna say, let's start a little bit about you, not what you do as far as like, voiceover and all that stuff, but about you. Who's Richard? Well, I was gonna ask about your family. I know you have a beautiful family. So married, you said 49 years?
Yes.
49 years to your wife. And
Yeah,
will you
the
share
same
her
one,
name?
not an
No.
aggregation of 2 or 3, but I had a friend do that once. I said, "That's how long you been married?" Let's see. He says, "Altogether." I'm going, "No, no, no. You don't get a aggregate
This
and
one, that
this
one.
one was for 10, that one was for 6. Oh, this one was only 3.
It's
Wait a
not
minute.
cumulative.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
cumulative. You can't do that.
No, it's
Oh
the
my
same
gosh.
one who's put up with all my antics and crap, forever."
I
So,
I love it. And her name, do you wanna share her name? Is it
Nancy.
okay? Nancy. Hi, Nancy. I
Yes,
bet you
she's
guys have a lot of fun and you laugh a lot. And that,
yes, I
yeah,
I'll laugh at her just certain things. Last
yeah.
couple mornings, for whatever reason, she puts her hair up in a ponytail bun in the back or whatever, and it was up and then shifted off to the side, and it looked like, "Hello, I just need my warmer socks and I'll be cool." Put a big ribbon in it. So I'll laugh. She laughs at me, and I'll forget things. She reminds me, and it's,
I love
yeah,
it.
we try to laugh. I don't think there's a day that goes by without laughter.
That's
Even
great.
with her, she's getting so much better with her recent complete knee replacements. So
Wow.
it's the second time around. So
Yeah.
she's getting impatient. She wants it to go faster. I'm going, "You're way ahead of the last one." So,
Oh, that's
um,
great. Oh,
so
that's
we
so
just,
great.
we can be here, by the way, last winter in, I
Mhm.
believe it was January. We didn't go anywhere for almost 16 days.
Oh,
There was
really?
snow, and it's like, we got plenty of stuff here, and we need to get into some of the other odds and ends in the in the freezer. Might be some weird meals, but we cook together. And that's the one thing I missed over the last 3 weeks, her being able to stand in the kitchen, the 2 of us. I do this part, she does that part, boom, we have a meal, we're done.
Nice.
So it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
we do work together. I do have fun with the and, for the family reunion on my mother's side, I am the family auctioneer.
You are?
Yes, we have
What
that's
do
how
you
we
do?
pay for our reunions because it would started out with 10 kids, and instead of having to call everybody, "Don't forget to send in $12.99 per person so we can,"
Yes.
all of that, we don't have to think about it.
Oh,
Generally, in
that's
the span
wonderful.
of an hour and a half, something like that,
Yeah.
can raise between 14 and 1,600 bucks.
Get out.
People bring things that they've made or that they've got,
Oh, wow.
and, there's bidding and
I love
cajole,
that.
and I just have a good time with that. I've always enjoyed
I
auction
love
stuff.
that.
I do the real thing too. I do the, "Howdy, all right, now give it a little bid. We got 5 now, give me now 10, 10 now to bid now 15, 15 now to bid now 20, we got quarter now to go 30." So I do the whole shooting
Richard,
match. What? I
you're so
learn new
good at
things.
that. You're so good. I cannot.
That's why they
I
have me speak at every one I go to.
They're like, "All right, we're gonna have him come again, but just remember, this is what he does. He let him come." No.
Oh, that is our Saturday afternoon, late Saturday afternoon entertainment, and
Oh,
everybody is around,
oh
and
my gosh.
they're joking with somebody else, or there'll be somebody behind someone, and they'll be bidding, and the person in front of them doesn't know they're bidding just to screw with them to get the bid up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But, tell us where you live now, and because you said you were stuck for 16 days, which is
Oh, well, we're out in the well, we weren't stuck. There was a lot of snow, and we just looked out and went, "I'm not driving
yeah,
in that crap." I used to be
right.
in a route truck every day. Didn't matter whether it was ice, snow,
Wow.
fog, didn't make a difference. I was in it.
Yeah,
And now I don't have to be. I'm not going anywhere.
that's nice. I like that.
I'm out in the hinterlands of Parma, Idaho. Is if you look at a map of Idaho, you notice
Mhm.
that on the western side of Idaho, there's a straight line, and then it goes all squiggly because that's where a river is. I
Okay.
am just about 12 miles from the border where the squiggly starts. So
You're
it's where
near
the
the
little,
squiggly.
yeah,
It's
where
not a
the
surprise, Richard.
that's I wonder if that's what's causing my problems. I'm just not sure. Um, but there's a bump out on the left side, and then just down from that, and so.
I love it.
Uh,
I
and my
I love it.
family, I enjoy and have done at schools 15 different times. I've gone when my girls were younger. I got to go a couple of different times for my granddaughters, and I read children's books with all the different voices to the characters in a couple of the books.
I love
So it is just so fun. The second
Oh
graders,
my
first and
gosh.
second graders are the best because they come up and you get lots of hugs because that's how they
Yes.
thank you. That's just it's just
Yes.
awesome. So I finally
Oh.
got to do it 2 years ago at my younger granddaughter's wedding, where again I was the officiant, but was there on a Thursday, and the daughter said, "You want to read at the boys' school?" I said, she asked me like a week ahead of time, and she made it happen. So I got to go to one kid's class, and then I went to
Oh.
the other kid's class.
That is
So
so great. Oh my god, that's and for them, boy, let me tell you, that is like a memory forever just having that. That's so great growing up like
yeah,
that.
I like to
I love
talk to
it.
the kids about how reading can be fun, and you can make the
Mhm.
voices sound however you want in your head. You don't have to do them
Yeah.
out loud. They can sound however you want while you're reading stuff. Just have
Yeah.
things fun. So,
I love that.
that's always been something good. So I like to do things with my family, coach little league softball. Yeah, I get busy doing all kinds of things.
That is so great. And you live on now you live on a farm? Is a
I
working
got
farm?
3.5 acres, and we might put a couple cattle out in the pasture. I don't know this year. I've got
Okay.
about an acre and a half pasture, so
Okay.
I do supplement. The cows will eat that sucker right down, and kind of
Yeah.
needs to be at the moment. But
Nice,
so, and
nice.
I don't want chickens. Good Lord, they're a pain
You
in
should
the.
have
You got to.
chickens with the price of eggs nowadays.
Yeah,
My
I
goodness,
know.
have some chickens.
Yeah, it's it is a lot. I
Yeah.
have gotten
Yeah.
them. My grandparents had all that stuff. I learned all those
Mhm.
things on the farm, and I looked at my grandsons because I was only about a month away from being 7 when Grandpa said, "Well, you're doing pretty good with this, and you steer it." So it was
Yeah.
steering the wagon down the rows, and he had a loader way off to the side of the wagon, and you would have to so the bales would go up the loader and nobody's pitching them on there. And he tried having my brother do it so that I could help him on the stack on the wagon while we were going down the field. Yeah, he'd hit the bales, run over them. I never did. I was too lazy to get off the tractor, so I made sure I got him in the feeder. But I
That is
just
wild.
look at that and go, my grandfather, what the was he not thinking right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, different generation, they don't think age, they're like, "You could do it. You're capable of this, like, just go ahead." Oh
No.
my gosh. So you have 3 daughters and you said, what, 2 granddaughters? This is what I have, tell me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
2 grandsons and a great-granddaughter.
Yeah.
Great-granddaughter? Yes.
She will be 2 tomorrow.
Wow, that's wonderful. What a beautiful family, really. I just love that. So so you're not far from where you grew up, is that what you're saying? Or
Yeah, it was, I grew up, I went, let's see, what was it? 1 through 4 in a very, very small town, rural town. And then
Mhm,
the folks bought a house. We moved into town, 4 years there. And then dad got promoted and we moved 90 miles away. And that's where I got into theater. We moved to the Twin Falls area. And, now I'm kinda back where not far from, where the grandparents' farm was. It's like 30, 40 minutes
nice.
away where it was, and it just
Wow.
felt like home. We were over in the
Mm,
Portland area for 25 years, Portland and Eugene, and it was just
mhm,
kinda time to come home. I got transferred back over here, and
mhm.
there it goes. Now the going from the speech class to drama was funny because the speech teacher was the wife of the drama coach,
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's what I
and
love about these towns.
their doors were straight across the hallway from each other, literally a
Oh,
straight
how
line.
funny.
So I stopped after class, after about 3 weeks of debating with, "Yeah, this is not me. I am not." And she goes, "I could tell you don't like it." She goes,
Right.
"I could tell. I got something for you." And she literally took my hand, walked me across the hallway to her husband and said, "By the way, he'll be transferred in here on Monday. I'll get that taken care of." And he's just going, "Oh, okay."
And
Oh,
that walked me right into my next thing. You're so good. I don't have to do anything. I'll just sit here and listen to you. I'll be like, "We're done. I don't have to answer any questions. You answered them all." My next thing was gonna be, like you said, sophomore year, you did, like, speech class that you
yes.
liked, right? And then you
Um
did junior year was
Was when
what
I
is that?
started theater, yes,
So
and I think
okay.
the reason she took me from there across is one of our assignments in sophomore in the speech class was to you don't have to buy a book if you've got younger siblings or whatever, some children's book, bring a children's book into class and
Mm,
read it and put voices to the different characters in the book. And I went,
yes.
"This is a great idea. When I have kids, I'll do that for my kids." So I had
Right.
fun doing that, and then we would read other things in speech class, and there'd be a Scotsman, and I'd have to try and read it that for him, and accents just climb on me. I'm around people, and so that's why she went,
Right.
you need to be over here. And
I
just
know, and oh my god, and knowing you, Richard, okay, so if you didn't like it, you don't have a poker face, as my father used to say. You don't have a poker face. You might have rolled your eyes or something, and they and
oh,
she's
you're
like,
not
"You
gonna
gotta."
let that
I
go, are
don't
you?
no, I'm not. Just so everyone knows, we were doing something, and Richard rolled his eye, not at what I was doing, at what I was going to tell somebody else to do, and I said, "Were you rolling your eyes, Richard?" And everybody laughed because they know you do that, but,
Yes.
it's that you definitely can say, "I know what you're thinking more or less, or what you don't like when it's on your face," which is great because, I'd rather have that transparency. But, so then you went into the drama class,
Yep.
and then you had so you now your productions, like your 40 plus theater productions, were they all within that time frame or
No,
later in
I
life?
did a lot of them there, and I did community theater that was going on as well. In fact, my senior year of high school, I did 5 plays in 5 months. So
Wow.
I did all five of them. I was rehearsing two all the way
Oh,
until the
no.
last one was done,
How
and
do you
that's
do
when I went
that?
and got my. I don't know. I can't remember my name, let alone a lot of lines, but I still do it. I
Oh,
still do some
wow.
shows, but,
Mhm.
so that's when I went to Boise State University. They had 600 kids trying out. Yay me, I was one of the ones that got a scholarship. So even though I messed up,
Yeah.
I did a Shakespeare piece and a serious, German accent deal from somebody that had been in the war, and I lost track of where I was, and I
Oh,
just
god.
stopped. It was a long pause. It was a good place. And I went, "Okay, don't panic. What was the last thing you said?" Okay, and then carried on. Well, the drama instructor goes, "Did you lose your place?" I said, "If you have to ask, I'm not telling you."
If you're not sure, we're not going there.
Yeah,
But
it
they
doesn't
also
matter.
say because you know what? It's so important how you handle that, in theater, especially, right? Because if you're on film, it's easy. You just cut, do another one. But, how do you handle that moment of, what the heck is happening?" And if you handled it that well where you paused and you just kept went on, that's great. That's a perfect
Because
thing.
I had made a mistake in doing Taming of the Shrew. I had a long line. It was Gremio, which was a dirty old man. Even in high school, I got to play that. Go figure.
Ah,
Um, but I was going along, and all of a sudden, my mind is walking somewhere else and took a hike and go, wow, there's a lot of people in the audience while I'm talking. And then went, oh crap, what's the next thing?
Yes,
So
yeah, your brain's like, "Oh, shoot, what am I doing? Where
yeah,
am I?"
well, it's happened more than so I learned
Oh my god.
instead of just stopping,
Yeah.
just keep talking, I'll get back there. That happened in
Oh,
Wizard of
gee.
Oz. I was Oz, and I had the cue for the sound guy to start the next music for I wasn't singing, but for the next person, whoever was supposed to
Right.
sing, and he's looking at the script. He said I talked to him afterwards. He's sitting there and he's going,
Where's
"Where
that
where
line?
is he? I don't know where he," and he's back. He goes, I was just ad-libbing stuff. I mean, I knew the
Oh,
general
that's so
gist of and
perfect.
just
That's
kinda
so
kept going,
perfect.
and,
Um,
um
that's really perfect. The Wizard of Oz, one of my favorite shows. I could see you were so Oz. It's so perfect. Just like you're so Scrooge in the thing that I can't even believe it.
well, I
That's so great.
appreciate that. Scrooge was I did it on stage, and it's funny, start reading those lines again, and he just showed up, goes, "Oh, I'm back. Okay." I didn't have
That's
to do any
amazing.
character development, he was already there.
And you didn't mention, I don't think we mentioned that out of the 600 auditioning, they only took how many people? 5, 6? How many people
5
did they
is yeah, 5 is all that
5?
got the got the, scholarship
Richard.
for the theater, so
That's great. Oh my god. Wonderful. Just so wonderful. So now going into voiceover part of your journey, how did you get into voiceover from that?
It's Mel Blanc was always my hero. Even as
Ah,
a younger kid, I knew it was one guy because I'd read all the stuff when
yeah,
the credits afterwards, and I knew it was one guy doing all these different characters, and
right.
it was just fascinating to me. And so that's something I wanted to do. And as I got older and getting closer to retirement age, which I haven't been, I have friends
Right.
go, "Yeah, right, you're retired. We have to check with you when you have time available to do something." Uh,
There will be no retiring, no.
um, so it's just kind of been something that I always wanted to do. And then I
Mhm.
was in a one call center and was talking to a guy, and he did some stuff, and I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a new mic." From what I had, was a starter mic basically. And he goes,
Mhm.
"Well, I got one for you." I went, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "How much you gonna sell it for?" And it's called a Blue Baby bottle. Blue was
Oh,
the
I love the name of it.
manufacturer at the time. There's a reason for that, but at the time they were 400 and some odd bucks, and it's like I can't afford that. But he had a used one, and he sold it to me for
Right.
like 210, and it had only been used
Oh,
3 times. He goes, "It's just
nice.
kind of not what I'm looking for." So I had
Yeah,
a really good mic, and then moved up to the Neumann, and I've been real happy. Built my own studio, and it works quite well. So it's
that's really
something
nice.
I always kind of wanted to do, and I
Mhm.
get to and I I went into it with a chip on my shoulder. I've done all these stage shows. I can do this. And then I look at the waveform and go, "What the hell?" It was terrible. So,
Totally different, totally
yeah,
different.
you're not talking to the back of the room anymore.
Exactly, and I have a strong voice, so it's a challenge for me, like, trying to get this mic, I'm like, "I'll listen later and see where I'm at." But it's like, I can't help myself, I'm like, I get so excited, and then I get so loud, and
Yeah.
then whatever. But do you think that theater and voiceover complement each other, or do you think what do you think about that?
Yes, I do because if you're it's like anything, and I've read far more than the 40 plus, probably getting up closer to 50 doing shows. And
Mhm,
I've read a lot of scripts, and it helps that you read the script the first time through, and okay, well, this character is kind of like this, and you get a little more time to develop a character.
mhm,
Whereas you get a paragraph or you get, 75, 80 words that's in a script, and you've got to be able to decide what it is, see
mhm,
who you're talking to, what you're talking about, and then go from there. So I've been really working hard this last couple years of just making it more conversational on I'm telling somebody and this is what it is and I can see where the stuff needs to go. That has
mhm,
come in handy. I went I've got to take all that theater and help with the voiceover. And I think it's
right.
been very complimentary once I figured out how to make them work
Right.
together.
Yeah, yeah, it's like that because you have to figure that out. When I came from I did some radio, that's not complimentary, that doesn't help at all with
No.
voiceover, but I thought it would. Only thing it does is I'm not afraid of the mic, that's all it did, and that's all it did. It was awful, but I'm good now. It took a while, but, but so, like, you do different things. I know you do characters, you do commercials, documentaries. I even heard when I was investigating you, I heard you do, an intro, to a podcast, I think it was, I forgot the name of it now, um,
Stay
I
off
I
my lawn.
not that one, no, we'll
Not
get
that
to
one.
that, don't you worry, we'll get to
The
it was
free
a Christian one, yes,
oh, the free range preacher on
yes,
prayer. Yes.
yes! Oh, that's so cool, that's very cool, I thought it was great, you sounded wonderful. So, do you just randomly how do you find your work? Like, do you
This was somebody I knew at the last job that we had when the, contract was canceled. I was close enough to retirement age. It's like and doing all that route work, my body said, "Yeah, we're kinda done doing all this."
right, right,
So it was someone I knew there, and then he told me he was gonna do that, and I went, "Well," he was thinking about it, and I went, "Good for you," and he just did it. He had a rather cheap headset that has the boom mic for gaming.
okay, yeah,
Ay, 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 the sound. I
yeah,
said, "Let me do
it's
an intro
different.
for you," and then I heard it, I went, "Oh," I said, "I'm not using this other mic," and I just gave it to him. It's been sitting
Yeah.
there for 5 years at that time, and I went, "Here,
Oh,
just just
great.
just use it. You buy your own interface. Here's a cheap one. It'll be something
Mhm,
that's still gonna sound way better than that boom mic
right.
that's real hissy and, annoying
Yeah,
as hell."
yeah.
So that's one that I knew that way.
Mhm,
Doing more marketing now, I would get stuff. I did things for a company called Papa Incorporated on their IVR system, and they were growing and they were trying to expand, and they expanded too fast, and they had a massive layoff, and they probably went to AI because I went bye bye too.
oh,
But I had
yeah,
a contact
yeah.
there that I had worked with at one of the call centers when I was training people. He got a hold of me, he said, "Can you sound like a Fortune 500 company?" I went,
Ah,
"Okay, sure."
thank you.
I said, "Here, I'll give you a sample." I said, "If you got something or whatever you'd like." And he said, "Well, if you've got a script, just do that one." Okay, well, it was, for an eye doctor, I think, and so I just sent them that
Okay,
one, and they went the vice president or whatever went, "I like that voice," and so
that is so
then
great.
I got it.
You
I also got referred for another job that was a Red Cross job.
oh,
So
nice. Nice.
just a local commercial. So,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
but
It's all
most
about
of it's been
networking
a
and
lot of word of mouth. I've made enough
mhm.
money. I was doing other places. Upwork was paying good for a while.
Mhm.
So when I would have enough money, I would buy, i.e., another piece of equipment. So all
Yes.
my stuff has been paid for, and that makes it nice. Where I'm
Yes.
not buying something else till I can go get it done. It's mine.
Mhm. That's
Um,
true. I agree. And sometimes you do things like even when it's like going to school almost, right? So you got stuff, you got money, but now you need to get something for that. So it's not like necessarily that you're going to have this money on in hand, but you're also not, like you said, not paying for that, and you're getting that and the
right.
experience and everything else. So you also direct and produce as well, right? Like an end act in old time radio scripts. I love it. Is this one of your favorite things to do?
Um,
The
I
audio dramas?
I really wanted to do that again. I, have been in a group for the last I've done 6 or 7 shows for them.
Mhm.
There is a gal that is a what are they called in a, assisted living place? They're the director of for fun things or,
Oh, like
activity.
activities?
There
Oh,
you
okay.
go, she's the
Mhm.
activity director,
Okay.
so she knows a lot of them in the valley, and she takes old radio shows from the '30s and '40s and even one of the ones we did from the '50s, because they gotta be 70 years old,
Right.
and, we'll do those, and then she adds songs to them. Yeah, I'm not much of a singer, but I try.
That's hey.
And then we take them to the last one I did, we went to 15, I think it was, 15 different senior centers over, like, a 3-week period. It's like you're doing them
Wow.
every other night or something. On Saturdays, you do 2, but it's
Oh my
about an hour
gosh.
show. By the time you add all the music and stuff in there, between 50 minutes and an hour, it just depends, something along that line.
Nice.
So it's been really fun. A murder mystery that the first one I did was kind of a lead in that one, and then um, my the best Christmas ever. My friend Irma, we did
Oh,
last year at Christmas
yeah.
time, and this year
Nice.
I always wanted to do a Christmas story. I wanted to be Scrooge
Oh,
again. There was
yeah.
just that itch that I kind of want to do it because I only got 3 weeks rehearsal when
Oh.
I did it on the stage.
Oh, wow,
Um,
okay.
so it
Wow.
was
Wow.
because I was working a night shift, I was trying to learn lines, and then I showed
That's
up and
wild.
boom, we did it. I
That
had one shorter than that. I
oh,
had one
no.
that was almost 40 minutes of lines when I was in Portland. I
Oh,
was training a guy. I hadn't done a show at that time in about 14 years. He goes, "I think you'd do real good at this. The guy that's doing it's not very good." He goes, "It's not that much. You don't even come on till the second act." Okay. So he gave me a script and I went, it'd be fun to do a show again. My kids hadn't seen me, so it was a dinner
yeah, yeah.
theater and the
Oh.
older one, they all came over at different times,
Ah!
helping serve and all that.
Oh,
But
fun.
it was a fun show, and I started highlighting lines because I actually got to see a dentist on Saturday and went, "You lying sack of" It was
Oh.
just line after line of oh my god, it took forever. I
Oh
had
my
7 rehearsals.
god.
That's it.
Oh
That's
my
all the
god.
more I got.
Oh my god. Oh my god,
So,
I don't even know, I don't even know, and you are okay, this is completely different than at least voiceover, you can read the words, and even that, I didn't stumble through your intro, that was amazing, but I'll stumble through that. You are amazing at long copy, and how do you do that? Is it a mindset? Is it like, what do you do?
um, it's trying to stay concentrated because, like I said,
Yes.
I have had shows literally, I was doing the last time I've done 3 different Shakespeare shows, Don Pedro, and I was standing there in the wedding scene, and I'm supposed to be frowning, and the person getting married, I'm not too happy about the whole thing, and we're doing this on a college campus outside, and I'm just standing there and doing the frowning, and I'm looking around going, "This is really a pretty campus. This is" I was taking a little stroll through the campus, all of a sudden, people talking stopped and went, "That was my cue."
Ah.
That was the night we had more people forget things and stuff just it was at least
Oh my
everybody made the mistake all on the
god.
same night. But,
Oh, I can
yeah, I
imagine.
have to concentrate and I read ahead and I
Mhm.
try to read if I can read the script once, twice is better, but if I can at least read it once, I have a general idea of what it needs to sound like,
Oh,
and just go from there, but I practice every day. I'll have something like on, Facebook, there's some history stuff that pops up that's not super long, but it's something, the wife's not up yet, I'll just be sitting in my chair, I'll
yeah.
just read the whole thing out loud. Reading to
Right,
yourself doesn't count. You have to do it out
right.
loud. It makes a difference.
It does make a
So
difference. It
you got to
yeah.
practice every day. If you go 4 or 5 days or 2 or a
Mhm.
week and a half and don't do it and then jump back in, it'll
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
so my
I feel like
IT's
I
getting
was just in a Bugs Bunny cartoon for a second. I just
my
got there.
my my IT's getting in the way and I can't see what I'm saying then because I
I
haven't
love
practiced.
it. I love it. Okay, so now on this little thing, I love the voices and accents you do. Can you, I mean, randomly just do like 3 things for me?
Wow, talk about being put on the
You
out
can do
upon.
it.
Yeah, out
You can do
upon
it.
your Merry Christmas. Why, if I had my way, every idiot who went about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should.
I love it.
But Speedy, we can't ditch the gato. We will take care of him. Yeepa, yeepa. No, Speedy, I will do it. I like Slowpoke. He was one
Oh,
of
I
my
love it.
favorites.
I love it. That is one of my
Let's
favorites
see.
too.
So, you don't call your mother on the weekend? You'll know what happens when you don't call your mother on the weekend. I gotta talk to your mother all weekend. Call your mother on the weekend, won't you? Anyway.
Oh my God, tell me. I know that. What is that? Tell
Um,
me.
I don't know. There was,
I know that
I
line.
think it
I
was
know those
Brighton
lines.
Beach Memoirs. It was like, so you
Okay.
couldn't wait to cut the turkey? We got here. Now you've already cut the turkey. What are we supposed to? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I
You're
got
so
loud.
good at it. No, you're so good at it, Richard. Seriously, seriously. I love it. I love it. And throughout the whole production that I heard there, and I watched some of your other ones, because you just did one too. What was your recent one? The
Oh, it was
Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes. I got called literally, or I got an email sent to me on Wednesday night. I didn't see it until Thursday morning. I went, "Oh, that's today. Can you help out? I had a guy drop out, and you got to do these parts." And I'm going, "Okay." He sends me the script, and we did our first rehearsal that night. And he goes, "You know what? Since you don't have any name to any of your characters, just do the opening. I don't need to be doing that." Okay, well, thanks a lot. So that was, Petri Wines presents Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce in The New Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
This is great. Yay! I love it. I'm clapping for you. I love it.
You talk about Lou? She just
Yeah.
listened to it and said, "You're the only one that had a real British accent throughout the whole thing that was legit." And it's
Yay!
like they were
And
all
she
different
is
characters.
good.
Yeah, she's done real well.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
anyway,
wonderful. So you also mentioned that you have a soft spot for the little guy. So what do you mean by that? What does that mean?
small business, because some of them
Mhm.
struggle, and if it's a small mom and pop shop, then maybe they have 7, 8, maybe even upwards of 10 employees. There's not much. They're struggling
Mhm.
and working their tail off every day. I got to meet a lot of these people when I was doing the laundry route stuff and training people in industrial
Right.
laundry,
Right.
and I'll I I'll give really good deals to them. I just,
Yeah.
you're working hard.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't need a whole lot of it, and I'm happy to help you
Mhm.
out. So, the
I
gentleman that
love
I
that.
do the free range preacher on prayer, I have been his intro outro guy for 7 years.
Wow.
We're
Uh,
in 40, or I'm sorry, we're in 73 countries and over
oh,
22,000 downloads.
wow. No way. That is awesome. That is
So
really
I'm
awesome.
heard worldwide.
I am so honored to have you here. Even more than I was before.
And I
Oh my
have
god.
other hobbies as well. I love grilling. I grill 12 months out of the year. Not
Oh,
every day, but at February, I think I've grilled now 4 times in February. I'll stand out there
nice.
in 35 degrees. As long as the wind's not blowing, it'll keep the heat in. I'm doing well. I have a smoker that I do stuff on that.
Nice. Oh
Uh,
gosh.
so I enjoy that,
Yeah.
and then working on the property and stuff and doing things that way. And we go to, which I got a job out of that. It's called Thirsty Thursday when springtime comes
Oh,
around. It's a little farmer's market that's just up the road. Just
yeah.
wonderful people, and I made a special deal with them. It ended up being I had to write the whole script and everything and put the music in and the whole shoot match. And I
Oh.
told her, yeah, okay, well, $50. And she paid, she goes, it was so good. She paid me 75. So,
Oh, nice. Oh, that's
I
cool.
mean, it was
That's
still worth more
cool.
than that, but it's okay. I did, and I made a video that they use.
Ah. Oh,
Took it
that's so
from
great.
a lot of their pictures. I just had fun making it. So
I like
That
that. That's great. And I like your tagline. You say, what is it? Your words, your way. There might be a little more to it than that, right? There,
yeah,
or is that
that's pretty
that's the
much it.
tagline?
That one is
Yeah.
it's pretty much, yeah, your words, your way.
Right. It's not about coming in and I'm going to try to change your whole, like,
Nope.
what you want to say. I'm going to do it the way you need to do it. And it's all
How
about
do you
you and
want
not
it done?
me.
Yep. How do you want
Yep.
it done? I have been, like we mentioned, over 40 plus stage productions. And sometimes the directors, I'll be doing things I won't hear a peep from. Others, can you do this? I had one that was hilarious. It was a comedy. Oh, what the hell was the name of that one? You Can't Take It With You, I believe.
Oh,
It's an
okay. Yeah.
old movie from
Mm-hmm.
1938. But she goes, as I was the father that had the big business, she goes, can you add a little foghorn leghorn to? I went,
Oh, oh.
okay. Why, I say, boy, I hired your son because boy's real nice, but his elevator doesn't go quite to the top, if you know what I
Uh,
mean. You know
oh,
that,
that's good. That's
yeah.
good. That's one of my favorites too. Love that. Oh my God, brings back memories. Nothing like those cartoons.
Yep. Oh, I spent way too much time watching them. Can you tell?
Oh God, yeah, we all did. That was our. I think I was talking to Corey about this on when we did. Corey Rhymes was my guest. We were talking about
Hmm.
cartoons and how they're like just like that was our life. I love them,
That's right. A
but
bowl of cereal and a morning of
yes,
cartoons in the winter. What else can you ask for?
that's it. That is life. I'm telling you. Nobody, kids that nowadays, if they don't do that, they're missing something.
That's true.
um, so you have a podcast, and I know it's called "Get Off My." Is that it?
It's
Get Off
no.
My Lawn podcast.
Stay off my
Stay
lawn.
off, not get a. Stay
Yes.
off my
Stay off
lawn.
my. There's too many get off my lawns were already taken.
Oh
Stay off
yes,
my
no, no.
lawn.us for all our past and present shows. Anyway. this-
Stay off my lawn.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, what
Yes.
how did you get that name? Just because?
We were, yeah, it's funny. The gentleman that I do it with, Mike Tarnow, and I, we just get along really well. And after he was in the My Friend Irma cast, he was kind of one of the main guys there and the announcer, and had trouble doing the announcer from the 50s. So we got
Okay.
together a lot, and we'd known each other for quite a while, but not really that well. And that
Mhm.
show would just like, wow, we have a lot of things in common. And we get started getting together on Tuesdays just to BS and talk about what's going on in the news and what's happening at home. And we just were like two old hens sitting here. It's coffee hour. So I was telling Mabel that anyway. Um, so we just did real well. And one day he goes, you know what? We should just do a podcast. I said, about what? He said, what we're doing right now. And I'm going, okay, well, it sounds like fun. Next week we get together and we're talking. He goes, okay, you ready? I went, what? He meant we're doing it now. So
Right.
then we were looking for names, and it was Get Off My Lawn was kind of like two old guys sitting on the porch whittling and rocking and talking about what's going on in politics. And we have a lot of fun. It's just some of it, if
Yeah.
you just get too serious about it, it's not as much fun. But
Right.
we laugh a lot. I came up with a slogan for us, and I put it on the fence of the clip art stuff that Mike made, and it works out perfect because it's really catchy.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
shows up.
Yeah.
It's informatively funny.
Oh, I like that. I like that. And the
So
description, if let's see if I get it right. Just two grumpy, not really, guys talking about the news of the day and having way too much fun. Is that correct? Is that
that's
the
pretty
right?
much it. I mean, we just I think our
I love it.
podcast is in 30. Oh, what's the last thing? I want to say it's 34 countries, something like that. 34,
Oh my
35
goodness, that's
countries.
wonderful. And you're over 100 episodes, right? What are you
Yeah,
on to now?
we're
100
on
and
this next week, whenever you put this out, but on Tuesday,
mhm.
the 25th will be our 106th podcast.
Wow, and we are in February now, so when you hear it, it will not be February. That is amazing, and you do it weekly, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Anyone doing podcasts know that to put one out weekly, no matter what.
Yeah.
Fun, they're all fun, but that's a lot, and that's great.
We send each other news articles back and forth and clips, and
Yeah,
here's a link to this, and then Mike puts it together. And I would say most of the time I know 90%. Sometimes he's got something I haven't seen, so I'll ask about it before we do
okay.
it. Just okay. Oh, I've seen stuff that refers to that. Okay, I got it.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh,
there's not a lot of prep. We don't do any editing. It's pretty much what it is. It is, and then I
right.
do. video for the podcast. So he does the front end, I
Nice.
do the back end. I'll do our promo video. We do a recording of that.
Nice.
Sometimes
That's good.
if there's mistakes, I used to cut them out and start. It's like, no, there was a
Yes.
mistake. Screw it, leave it in. Moving on.
We
I
love mistakes. We love mistakes.
cut off the beginning and the end so
Yes.
it is clean, and that's it. We don't do a lot of editing.
Right, right. Yeah, it's that. There's a part of it. Do you do this all the time? I heard, I think Mike was doing it when I heard this episode, stupid holidays of the week.
Yes.
I was like, I love that. It's so true.
Yeah, it's like, really? This is okay. It's National Pizza Day because we're all Italian. Okay. Where these things come from, I don't know. But and usually
like,
we'll
who makes
play
them up?
a lot of times I'm on 2 or 3 places that have the Paul Harvey stuff, and both of us love it.
Yeah.
And it's still a lot of it's apropos and
Right.
things that you hear him telling this story and you go, who the world is he talking about? And at the end you go, okay, I got it now. And sometimes
Yes.
you don't know until the end. So we call it a
That's
palate
funny.
cleanser because after you've been talking about politics for almost an hour, yeah, we need something else.
You need something. You need something to end it with on a funny note. You have a disclaimer. Can you say that? Do you have it?
Oh,
Like, can you
Lord.
just do it?
No, I can't just
Oh,
do
okay.
it. Where is that
You
puppy
want-
at?
good.
I
Oh, good.
actually,
It's so good.
let me stay off my lawn intro with music. I found it. Hello there, and welcome to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast, where we'll have a little fun, lots of laughs, and discussions on the common sense that needs to be applied to a lot of today's world news issues. And now, the disclaimer. Stay Off My Lawn is not intended as legal, medical, or financial advice. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary to win. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 or over in the contiguous 48 states. Any resemblance to anyone living or deceased is purely coincidental. Actual price may vary. Only use as directed. Not a member of FDIC. And now, here are your hosts, Mike and Richard.
I am amazed that you could do that. Reading it or not reading it or whatever, I cannot.
Well, it was... Yes, I read it fairly fast, and I can't tell you then how many times I practiced it because I don't remember how many times I practiced it.
Yes, yes. Oh my God.
So
And
it
then I know
was,
there's a little way of speeding it up, obviously, so that it's even faster in post, correct?
yeah, because I articulated well when I read it fast, and I did that on purpose, because if you don't, when you speed it up, it just gets all blurred. So
Mhm.
articulating it, and then I sped it up, I believe, like 20%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Very cool.
it comes out. Mike, I said, you need to change it. He goes, no, I still like what we have. I went, okie dokie.
I
So,
think it's great. I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
yes.
I did want to ask you, I am a true believer in having like a very strong why in life, no matter what you're doing, business, life, whatever. So do you have a why that you can think of? And sometimes it's not just, it changes, I believe. So if you have,
It's been my philosophy for a long, long time, is to learn something new every day. Doesn't have to be a lot.
Mhm.
My daughters used to give me a bad time, tell you how far back this goes, when they were kids, and you get magazines. I had 3 different, as they called them, nerd magazines: PC World, PC Magazine, and Maximum PC, I think it was. So I would read them all the time because I wanted to learn about the computers. I build my own. Yes, that's another hobby. So,
Wow.
but I like to read to learn, not necessarily for entertainment. I get bored sometimes, and I'll skip ahead a bunch and
Mm-hmm.
go, okay, well, I didn't miss anything, because I can see
Mm-hmm.
where the plot line's going and just move down the road.
Right.
But
Right.
try to learn something new every day, even if it's only maybe a kitchen hack that you'd never thought of. I never thought of doing that. Um,
Yes.
so if
Yeah.
you're never too old to learn something new, like getting into this business, what's important? Editing.
Yes.
I did
Yes.
not know how to edit. I always tell people the
Mm-hmm.
first thing you need to do is download Audacity. It's free. I don't even care if you're using just a crappy microphone on a laptop. Record
Mm-hmm.
something and then figure out how to clean it up, how to change this, how to move things down, how to use the program, because it will serve
Yes.
you well down the road.
For sure. I remember first starting voiceover and going, okay, so I can get it right the first time. I don't have to edit. Okay. Right. And
Now,
then mind editing everything else out of it. And so I finally, when I really took it seriously, I was like, I'm not doing anything until I can edit. I've got coaching happening. I've got this happening, but learning to edit is the big piece and not being afraid of it. Now you know
Yeah.
like where to look for things and not being afraid.
Yeah.
It's very important. Very
Yeah.
important.
I started out with Audacity. My friend that has gotten to be a much bigger friend. We chat almost every day. But with the free range preacher, and he didn't know how to do any of that. So I showed him some, told him to get Audacity. He's still using that, and I'd get things set for him. And he has a few things from RX to help with the editing. And then he goes, "Well,
Mhm.
I just thought if I went, Fred, stop, 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 stop." Well, if I just tweak, and how was that the first time? Because I can't seem to get it back. Okay, Fred, I'm going to help
Uh,
you. This is the last time. If you don't stop tweaking on stuff, I'm going to tweak your nose off. Stop it. So,
It's true. Stop
yeah,
touching it. Stop touching it.
yeah, we're all that way. We get something, and it's like, if I could just improve that one little, and then you go, oh crap. Well,
You're
how
like,
was
"What
it
happened?"
before? Yeah,
I
now it's
know.
way worse.
I do. You know what I do when I'm editing? I'll do my edit, whatever, and then I'll save it as edit number 2 because I know I'm gonna do something and I'm doing it. Then I'll be like, "Okay, this is good. Edit number 3." And then I just delete them later because I know I don't wanna undo anything.
Or
But,
I'm gonna just record it one more time. Oh, it's not as good. You know what? That
yes.
section over there of number 1 was
Yes.
better than number
Yes.
3, and so you cut and paste and pull things out, and,
Yes. And then it gets
and
crazy.
yeah, and you just have to do that. Like, Lou couldn't be in our group for the day of
Right.
something came up, and we had to move back an hour. If we hadn't had to move back an hour because of the lawnmowers. Trevor he said the lawn company comes and he goes, there's nothing I can do about it. They're here at the same time every week. And he wasn't kidding. It was like, he goes, so
Right.
when we're recording, yeah, we're gonna have to move it. And
Oh.
that caused Lou to have to miss the last one because she had the
Oh,
hour
okay, okay.
ahead would have been fine. Add one more hour back and she
Right.
couldn't be there. So anyhow, we had already recorded her stuff anyway. Her and I
Right.
got together. So it didn't sound any different than anything else, did it? We did,
No.
because she had quite a
No.
bit of interaction with me. She
Yeah.
was the ghost of Christmas past, if I remember right. Yes, Christmas past. Past, and then you had present, and then you had future. So,
Yes. Yeah,
uh,
no, that was great. It was so great.
yeah, it was just very seamless. So I was real proud of it. I thought they
Mhm.
all the shows that we've done, but that one, Brad and I worked together on getting. He goes, "Good Lord, this has got a lot of." Only he didn't
Yeah.
use the term "good Lord." Has a lot of sound effects, and he did
Yeah.
fantastic putting
Oh,
them in,
yeah.
adding to it. It was just
Mhm.
everybody really worked well at the stuff they were working on. So
Yeah.
they did their homework like I asked them from the first one,
Yes.
going, it's going to be 2 weeks. I expect you to come back a little more prepared. Everybody was much better the second time, and the third
Yes.
time we were good to go. One
Yes.
one of the shows for Project Audion that I did was, can you believe this? A 30-minute version of Pride and Prejudice. Talk about your cliff notes. Um,
Wow.
I
Yeah,
I got to
really?
play the father, so again, my English accent, he
Okay.
just keeps getting a hold of me for that, but, we had one rehearsal, and a gentleman's mother passed away, and he was gonna have to leave, and, well, we could do another if you're gonna be, and it's like, "Can you do it, like, in 4 days?" And he goes, "Yeah, I won't be gone yet." So we just moved it up. We had one rehearsal, and we just did it. Everybody in the
Oh,
show,
wow.
though, was all like myself, "Or stage actors, by gum, we can do this. Come on, kid,
That's
let's
great.
put on a show." Um,
I love that. Yes, the show must go on. Let's do it. That's
s
great. That's
yeah,
perfect. Oh my
Salvatore and
gosh.
Mickey Ray. So we had one rehearsal, and then we recorded it.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
that one turned out really well also.
Oh, that's really great. I mean, it's really great like that. And then, okay, so for those listening, Richard, he's a lot of fun. He'll make you laugh, but he is serious. Don't mess up on not being ready. You need to be ready. And you
He
need to
have
be that.
ways of making you talk. Yes.
It's true. Okay, so I wanna ask for a really quick version. Is there a day in the life of Richard or is it different every day? Like, is there a routine of some sort?
Eh, I enjoy my quiet time with
Mhm.
a couple of cups of coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Me
Um,
too.
and while the wife was convalescing the last time, I figured out how to make her tea in the Keurig because I have one of those.
Oh, yes.
I use one of the reusable pod things that you can put
Mm-hmm.
coffee in, little filters. I just
Yep.
take the tea bag, tuck it in that, put it in there, 12 ounces of tea comes through, and she goes, that that works pretty good.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so yeah,
But
it's that in the morning, and then I might go out mid morning in the summertime and do some stuff outside for 2-3 hours, and then I come and park my butt in here some days, and some days I just don't feel like it, and I don't even
mm-hmm.
look up things. It's if I miss something. I used to worry so much about fear of missing out.
I know. I
I'm at
know.
that point where I have a decent retirement, and it's not
Right.
something that I need to do, but it's something I do enjoy doing. But just
Right.
like my theater, I like doing a show, and I've done
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6 of those where we went to the senior centers,
Right.
and they do one right after another. She does 4 or 5 of them a year, and we have 10 days of rehearsal. That's it. That's
Wow.
all you get is
Wow.
9 or 10 days, and then it's you go do it. So you
Wow.
gotta learn your
Yeah.
lines and blah, blah, and
Oh my gosh.
I like theater. I'm fairly good at it, and
mm-hmm.
then there are times where I just don't wanna do it all the
Right.
time. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's fun when I wanna do it and not when I have to go do it. Then
Right.
I get
Mm-hmm.
burnout after a while.
Yeah.
So,
Me too. I'm right there with you.
yeah, I go out and I feed my cats in the morning, my barn cats.
Uh-huh.
The one that was around that's name was Friendly. She had a bat, and barn cats are strange. They're around for a while, same ones, and then you'll go and hey, where the heck did that one go? They're just
And then
gone.
you've got another one or
And
something,
then,
right?
oh, there's plenty. At one time, I had like 12 of them. There
Wow.
was a male cat, and he was busy.
He
Uh,
was a busy little guy, wasn't he?
So, and then we'll go through where sometimes there'll be 3 left over, maybe down to 2 or 3, and
Ah,
then there's
that's
a
great.
bunch of them again right now, but I go out and I feed them. When you got 3.5 acres and lots of
Nice.
places for mice to hide, so it's like
Oh,
they get them.
yeah.
They're there for a purpose.
Oh, that's good. They do their job. I
Yes,
like
they
that.
do. You do your
I
job,
love
I'll
it.
feed you a little. I feed them
That's
once a day,
right.
and
That's right.
I
Good
feed
work. Good work.
yep, feed them once a day in the morning, and that's it. If there's none for the
Good.
afternoon, well, you
Go
lose
find some mice.
snooze, you lose.
That's true. So, I have a signature question. So basically, in life, like I think that we all pivot at one point or another. It could be drastic, it could be a little bit of a pivot. So, is there a time in your life that you can share with us? It could be career or personal or whatever, that you had to show some resilience or you had divine intervention or you had a pivot in a way.
I would say a pivot of sorts. I know that one year I told the wife at around Christmas time, I said, I can't keep doing this. I was 58 years old and still running route stuff. And I mean, I'm very fit. I don't have anything that's gotten messed up, which I'm surprised. Everything still works good. But I just tired of being a pack mule. I said, my body, I'd wake up in the morning and sound like an old man filling his Depends because I couldn't hardly set up to get out of bed till I got some Advil or something in me. And
Yeah.
so I just went, I've got to do something else. I just can't keep doing this. So
Yeah.
I kind of was looking for something else and left that for a while and then started doing, I enjoy training. I had
Mhm.
been doing that a lot. So I went, call centers. Well, they don't pay that great, but it's something to do until I can retire. So I really enjoyed that. It was I had a
Nice.
I had a reputation too in the last one because I would always ask the classes at the end of the class, "Is there anything that I could do better, do differently? Was it helpful?" Blah blah blah. And some gal raised her hand and she goes, "Yeah, we didn't get enough voices."
Oh,
I went,
I like
"That's
that.
what you're concerned about?"
I love it.
Because apparently there's quite a reputation I had going around. I would read the different stuff with voices, and they would like, "Well, I had my purse right here. It was on the cabinet, and now it's gone." And then I
I
would
love
read it all, and I'd just stop. Okay, now what do you guys? What would you say to her? And they go, "You you just do, and you just stop. That's all the words there are." I I'm not a method actor where you've got to stay in character.
Right.
I'm thinking about it. I can have a little fun backstage sometimes, and it's odd. I get very quiet before a show.
Yeah.
It's one
Yeah.
of the few
Yeah.
times, I don't know why, nerves, whatever, but I take the
Right.
nerves and turn it into energy. So I do the same thing with classes. You get a new class, all of a sudden you got 20 new faces looking back at you that I don't know from Shinola. So every
Right.
3, 4 weeks, you get a whole new crop.
Right.
And I just had, might as well be fun for me. I
Mhm.
mean, they got to be there. If I'm having fun and there's energy that's put forth, then they're paying more attention, and it was not a horrible experience. I'm not in there
Mhm.
doing Mueller. I got a job, by the way, by doing that. They asked me, what is your
Did you?
teaching? I said, well, I can tell you one, it's not going to be. It's not going to be Mueller, Mueller. Is he here? I said, that's not going to, and they were laughing like you are. I got the job. So yeah,
That's so
we've
great.
so it was going from training folks and running a route thing to then training people for because customer service is customer service,
Mhm.
whether it's in person,
Right.
whether it's not. I got moved around 3 different types of classes while I was there. The one I think I enjoyed the most, you had core, which was the basic. It was for a credit card company.
Mhm.
Was just basic. This is how you use the program, and these are the things you talk about. To going then to collections, which I've done collections in person with businesses that are struggling, and there's ways to ask, and you don't demand, and you will get much more that way. To fraud, I loved doing fraud.
Did you?
Oh, it was great.
Ah.
I had a student early on in a fraud class, and she said, I think I had a fraud story. I said, really? Why? And she showed me the screen, and she goes, yeah. I said, okay, that's Daryl Hughes. She goes, oh, no, no, his name was Daryl Hughes.
Oh.
And then the last class that I had before before the contract was up and I retired, they could not believe it because it was a story I got to tell for all my classes. She goes, I think I had Daryl's brother. I went, what? She goes, yeah, it was Marcus Hughes. Was
No
Marcus
way,
Hughes.
no
Yeah.
way.
She goes, it was all I could do to keep from laughing in his face. It was just hilarious to
Oh,
listen to it.
that is
So
too funny.
anyhow,
That is too
fraud
funny.
fraud was interesting and how to deal with some of the stuff and the sneaky and the garbage and
Oh, wow.
just
There's so
it's
much.
just
There's so
sad.
much out there.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse and worse. It just gets worse and worse. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
So before we close up a little bit, is there anything I did not touch on that you wanted to share?
No, other than uh, the doing stuff for the community, and yeah, we got paid a little to go to these senior centers.
Mhm.
She usually would only have 5 actors, and sometimes, like one show, I was 5 different characters in the show. They'd go back and change something in a little scrim that we had
Oh,
set up and run back
so
out. All
cool.
there was a table, 2 chairs, and
I love it.
I was Ozzy in a Ozzy and Harriet episode.
Oh.
Jeez, for something that's only that long, I had a potload of lines. Uh,
Wow. Wow.
so it's just nice doing something for the community. It makes me feel
Mhm.
good. The first one we did was a murder mystery, and I had more gentlemen. I had one gentleman that, as we're doing it, they're right in front of you. They're just sitting there. I
Right.
mean, the guy
Right.
probably wasn't 10 feet from me. And
Oh my
as we're doing
gosh.
things, I'm looking, doing stuff, and he's just sitting there, looked like stone face, but he was really concentrating. And then we go out and try to talk to him afterwards. And
Right.
this one really hit me where he said, I went to say, well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Oh, it was terrific. It reminds me of when I was on guard duty and back in World
Oh.
War II. And he said, I loved having the night stuff so I could hear it because it just was a touch of home. And
Oh,
so,
wow. That's
you got that kind of stuff. All of a sudden, he just lit up. And I went, holy smokes, that's not what I
right.
expected. Another gentleman
Right.
said him and his brother would get in trouble because the radio was up on the kitchen counter, and they'd get up on the counter and get real close to the radio to listen to the Inner Sanctum Mysteries.
Wow.
So just bringing a little joy of something different to them
Mhm.
uh, really is nice. I enjoy
It
that.
is.
So
It is. That's so and, and it's funny because 'cause you're looking at him during it thinking he's not enjoying it at all. So I try to learn not to prejudge. I can't help
yeah,
myself sometimes, but you never know. And so it's so great to have that. That's such I mean, those moments you can't get paid.
yeah.
That's money has nothing to do with that. That is like the biggest thing. That's such a big deal for doing that.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
I really enjoyed that. So it's
Yeah.
and those are things that can be done in other places. Just find old radio shows, add something to them,
Mhm.
or even if you just had 4 or 5 people there and just did a readers theater, they would really enjoy that as well.
Right.
So
Do you have any ideas for an upcoming, like, audio drama that you want to do or any ideas of anything coming up?
I'm I wanna do a comedy,
Mhm.
that's kind of, and if I can find a radio version of, Arsenic and Old Lace,
Oh, yeah.
that would be, I don't
That
want
would
a
be
big part in
fun.
that, but you've seen me out doing it, recording, and trying
Yes.
to do the directing, and if something's not quite right, we can talk about it a little bit, and sometimes
Mhm.
I will get a hold of people outside of it, like Lou's
Mhm.
character was. She started out being a real cranky, pissed off ghost. It's like, "No, no, 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 no. You're this sweet little angel that's" so,
That's so
uh
cool, and yes, I will audition. Thanks for asking me to audition for the other one. I would not have. I was like, "No, no English accents for me."
I will tell you, Lou, when she first got into the group, anything that
Mhm.
had to do with characters, "Oh, I can't do that." Yes, you can, Lou. Trust me,
Yeah,
I know you can. She has come so far in the way that
she's
it's
so
just
good.
relax a little and just do it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna be told, "Really? That's your interpretation? Wow, didn't see that one coming." You get direction and you go a different way maybe. So,
Yes,
yeah, um, I
that's
do
great.
enjoy trying to help people and do the facilitating and try to keep it lighthearted and fun. We
Yes,
do a lot of
it
laughing
is.
when we're doing that stuff.
I used to pass on a lot of the animation, auditions, even though I loved it, and coming into it, like probably everybody else, I wanted to do animation, and then I stopped that, right? So I like it and all, but since being in the VO Academy and doing the things with you guys, I now do more of the auditions because I feel more comfortable. I don't overthink like I was thinking some crazy stuff in my brain, but now it's so great. So I love it. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Um, can you end us with a quote or what you've got to tell us to finish us off here?
Um, maybe not a quote, but never go a day without laughter. A day without laughter is like a day without sunshine, and I believe that is from the Little Tramp. All of a sudden, his name just went.
I don't know.
You don't know the silent movies, the Little Tramp mustache with the cane.
Oh!
Charlie
Charlie
Chaplin.
Chaplin.
There we go. Yes, that actually is one of his quotes, and I believe that. If a day goes by and you're not laughing, you know what? Sometimes don't take yourself so seriously. Just and I get frustrated with things and get irritated and go, okay, I got to stop that. I got to just get back to let's laugh about it, or things
Yes.
happen. It's just move on.
Yes, and I love that. That has to be one of my favorite things. I'm so happy you said that because yes, I agree. I agree. Even in the worst of times, there's always something to be like, "Well, all right, let me laugh about this." So, I wanna give a shout out to, singer-songwriter Victoria Lynn Purdy, who happens to be my daughter, for creating Time to Elevate theme song. So I like
Awesome.
to yeah, she did such a great job. Oh my gosh, that was divine intervention in itself there. And I wanna thank you, Richard, for being here. This was so much fun, Richard. I can keep talking to you on and on. Where can we find you? I know where to find you, but where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook as just Richard Durrington. It might have the Richard Dot Durrington. I don't remember. On let's see, the other stuff was I started to say LinkedIn. I believe
Mhm.
you can find me as just Richard Durrington there. You can find me and a lot of my stuff that I've put together and made on YouTube. There is a spot that was a commercial that was completely different, and it was an assignment stuff that worked on. I took and made it black and white with just the lettering green and the way that they did stuff, and made it a film noir and wrote the script for it, and just it doesn't look anything like the original
Oh,
commercial, but it's for a
wow.
Heineken commercial. Anyhow, on YouTube, and it's
That's on your YouTube.
yeah,
Okay. Right.
Durrington R, I believe. It's kinda like the start of my email. I haven't changed it. I might put my whole name on there,
Okay.
but I've had that website, that channel a long time. I did "'Twas the Night Before Christmas,"
I
and it ended up with
love
over
that.
12,000 hits on it, so
Oh my gosh, Richard!
it's just
That
me
is
narrating it,
wild.
moving the pages of the book, and kids
Well,
really enjoyed it, so
obviously, there's over 12,000 or whatever people liking that.
so that's the YouTube, and then my website where you can find a lot of my stuff, also is just richarddurrington.com.
That's perfect, and I will add them in the show notes as well. Thank you, Richard. This was
Well,
so
I had
great.
a hoot.
Ah,
It was
me
a blast, my dear.
too.
Thanks for asking me.
Me too, and I will see you soon, very soon, I'm sure. Oh, thank you, thank you. I really
Ah,
appreciate this.
You're very welcome, my dear. You are a hoot to talk with. You're a lot of fun when we're doing our practices too. So keep up the
You are
good work
too.
on your podcast. They're awesome.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Toodles.
Life gets tough, and I know it's hard to cope with the unknown. For all of us, I know it'd be easy if we were perfect, but we're not. So we go to find our fate, to find our hope. It all begins with looking up. It all begins with you. It's time to